How you're doing, Ralfy at Ralfy Customs? Part 2 of our car's high neck Sportster wheel adapter sprocket build. Let's do it. Right, so we made an adapter that fits on the wheel to take the Sportster sprocket and set it out the right distance to line the drive line up. We now need to machine the holes in it to bolt it down. And there's a few ways of going about doing this and calculating this. We need to find the PCD for a start off. So there's a formula to work that out, and we measure the distance between the middle of the studs, which was 74 mil, near as fuck it is to swear in, or 2.918 in inches. What we do, we multiply that by 1.7021, and that gives us 125.995, so 5 microns off 126. Yeah, that's the PCD, the pitch circle diameter. We do it in imperial, we'll go that 2.9180 times 1.027 is 4th thou off of 5 inch. So that gives us the diameter of the circle. Now, what we could do from there is set this up on the rotary table on the old machine over there, look. Find center, come out 2.5 inches, and that gives us the PCD. Then we need 5 studs, so we divide 360 by 5, which is 72. So we zero everything off, make an hole, rotate this 72 degrees, fucking hell, do another hole, so on and so forth until we're back at the start. That, apart from the maths, we need to do the maths for everyone, but setting this up on the rotary table and centering it and moving it out is a lot of fucking about, setting up, a lot of faffing about. So I think, look at the sprocket side, look. What we're going to do with the sprocket side is none of that maths and none of that fucking working out. We're going to lay the sprocket on, and then we're going to transfer punch through, and that'll get us all the holes. Yeah, no maths, no marking out, no measuring, no fucking doing anything. Unfortunately, because all we've got as a reference is this cush drive, and that we can't fucking center that on there as it is. That's not going to work. So we've got two options. We can go for the rotary table setup, the full engineering fucking job, like, which is a bit of a fuck about, like I've just said. It can take an hour to set it up on the rotary table, or we can just make a little fucking adapter, make a little mandrel that sits on there. Yeah, sits in that. The outer diameter is the same as that diameter, and that will centralise that on the adapter, and we can transfer punch that through, which is probably what I'm going to do. So 10 minutes on the lathe as opposed to up to an hour on the milling machine setting up, and then we can fucking go from there. Righto, so we've had a brew and we've had a weigh up of the shit involved doing each way of marking, drilling and tapping and whatever these holes like. And I think we're going to roll out the fucking rotary table. I think it's too much fucking about. I did consider it in case we end up shaping this to lighten it or whatever, but I think we're going to have a conflict with where the holes are when it comes to scalloping out. That will show later on in the process. So we're going to go with the mandrel. We're going to make a mandrel that fits over that flange and is wide enough to sit in there, creates another flange that sits in, yeah, and that drops on there, and we transfer punch through. I think that is the way forward, I really do. So let's get on and do it. So we've got this chunk of material off. Hold on, let me just put the jaws away. And I don't mean with false teeth, because we've gone back to the normal internal jaws, because we're gripping something that we can manage, and we are just going to face it up. Now I'm going to be boring an hole in this, so a lot of it is going bye-byes, but at the same time it'd be nice to have a good reference to fucking start from, like. So here we go, let's just chop that nice and smooth. And then we need to turn the OD down to fit inside that push drive doodad. don't we? So we'll touch off, we'll get a touch on, and we'll take a very light cut. Just checking everything's moving in the right direction, and then we'll have a measure and go from there. Right, that is 62.85, so we'll set the digital readout. X is 62.85, enter, and we need, oh, it's really difficult to measure, but we've got 60.6, so let's take this down a bit. That's 61.6. It only needs to be about ½ inch long as well, so we don't need to go mad with this. And now we'll go 60.7. I want to sneak up on it. I want it to be a nice fit. So we'll have a try. We'll go 60.7, look, like this. Lovely bit of steel, this is. Cheers our Gilbo. 60.7 at that. Right. We'll break that edge. And we'll hope there's enough clearance. Oh, there's loads of clearance on the bed. So that's 60.7. It almost fucking goes on, Ralphy. Like, almost goes on. So let's go again. 60.65. It's not got to be a press fit like. It just needs to fit. Fit. 60.65 there, look. Which shouldn't have done too badly. And where are we at now? Fucking hell, it tightens up. The problem is that this hole is not perfectly fucking round. So unless I'm gonna chuck this up and bore that out, I'm gonna make do with this. So 60.7, 60.55, let's try that. See if that gets us a shove on fit like, ain't it? Like so. You know, that ain't far off, I reckon. Okay, go to 60.5, my original fucking measurement. There we go. So we'll clean that off. If needs be, I'll hit it with the fucking emery to get it the last bit out of it. But like I say, it's not got to be within a fucking tenth of a thou like. It just needs to fit nice. Here we go. Come on, you fucker. Yeah. Oh, almost. It's almost there, isn't it? Right, we've got that fitting quite nicely, to be fair. So now we can take the middle out to sit on top of the adapter I made. So it's just blocking fucking brush. Oh, that's not good, is it? I need to find a brush for my lube. It's never a good day when you lose your lube brush, is it, boy? Use the old bottle method, look. Bottle fed. Right, so better. So we'll just peck away at that, and then we'll come in with the pilot drill.
Don't forget, folks, our Fuckstock stickers are now available in our Etsy store, link in the description below. Fuckstock, you know it makes sense.
Like so, we just get that lined up, get the end of the flute lined up, yeah, and we can see a mark on the tail dot that you can't see. and the part needs to be about 1/2 inch. So if we go a good 20 mil, that'll leave us plenty of planner when it comes to getting the boring bar in. Well, getting a big drill in. We're going to rough it out with the biggest drill I've got before we hit it with the boring bar, because this needs to go out to like 50 mil or thereabouts. So we'll chip away at that, and now we're coming with an 1 3/16", which is the biggest drill I own. So we slowed things down quite a lot. Look at that bad boy. Yeah. Might be a bit of a fucking grinder meeting around here to get the lube on, which is not something you want to hear in a fucking conversation, is it? Let's be honest. Come on, baby. There we go. That'll do it. Nice and steady away. We'll get that drilled down to depth and then get in with the boring bar. Bit of a rumbler. A bit of a rumbler, isn't it? Alright, now we're coming with the boring bar, so we'll just touch on. Zero that. We want about 16 mil. So we're just going to square off the bottom of the hole. 16 mil. Which ain't pretty, but there you go. So we know we need 16. And now we can take a light cut and then have a measure. Take this down to 16, where we were before. So we're nearly there. 15, 16, right. We'll have a measure and then set my readout. Right, I've got this worked out to be 50 mil on the nose is what we need. And we're fucking off, just burnt my finger. 30.7. So X equals 30 points. Let me have another measure. Don't be so flippant there, young Ralph. It's not, is it, you see? Look. 31.12 we've got there. 31.06 we've got. It's really tight at 06, so I'm going to call it 31. Hold on. X is 31.06. Set the smallest measurement. Then it'll be too small and not too big, because if it's too big, then we fucked it. And we need to take it out to 50. So we'll go a couple of mil at a time. And I won't bore you with that. You can catch me again when we're near the end. Right, some bozos forgot to press fucking record. I took this out to a fraction under what I think I need. So we can now try this one. It is hotter than a pistol, so it's not quite fucking gonna go. It's just a bit too tight, so we'll take a skin pass. Excuse me. Down to that 50. Like so. And then we'll see how it sits. Fucking chips are red hot this morning. Coming off blue and fucking landing on my hand on the wheel. It's not fun. It's not fun. There's your 16D. There's your broken head. And that almost fits. I just need to put a bit of a chamfer on that. If I can get it with this. Maybe not. I'll do it with my boring bar. Like fucking so. There we go, that's got it. Quick clean up with the old dick. And now that is a fucking hell, there's nothing in that. That's a nice fit on there. So we'll get that parted off, and then we've got a mandrel so we can transfer the holes through. Right, so we switched out to the parting tool. We're going to touch that on that surface, and we want a This needs to be about 13mm long, I reckon, so we go 16 with the tool, which is there. Lock off my saddle off camera, like that, and then come in with a looby-dooby with a fresh new brush, because the other one's fucking gone AWOL. We can get our parted off. A little something like this. Come on, baby. Yeah. Righto, so look, we've got that chuck held internally. So we can just, all we need to do is get rid of that fucking Raymond burr. It's hanging on there, look, so we'll have that away. Pink. That's it, that easy, yeah. And then break the edges so we don't cut ourselves up more. Fucking poorly finger. I put that open last night, bled like full. Not the best fucking deburring tool. That is one sleeve that we can use to mark the holes on that adapter. Right, it's really awkward to fucking set up to film like, but I'm hoping you can see clearly. So there's my ring I've just made, it's all cooled down. That goes on there, like so. And then that snaps on there, like so. And we use a transfer punch, and we go through, and I've had this through all of the holes to make sure that it clears. And it's quite tight, which is what we want. Give it a tap, don't move anything now. For fuck's sake, don't move anything. Into the next hole. Give it a tap. Still feel it's in the hole, so it's not moved. Come round again. Oh, that one's tight, Ralphy. That one's proper fucking tight. Ain't it? There we go. In we go. Tap it again. Just gently marking it. Fucking hell, that is tight. Gently marking it as we go. Let me check that that's fucking still in the hole. Yeah, it is. Right. On with this one. Still in the hole. You can feel it's in the fucking centre dot light. So, last one. There we go. So now we've got those 5 holes marked out. We can come with a proper centre punch, because transfer punches aren't made for making deep indentations. They're made for transferring, marking out through. And we've got those holes that need drilling through and countersinking to take these cap heads like so. The next bit is going to be sitting that bugger on like so, and working out the middle of the holes I've already done. So we need to find the middle of that, yeah, and then we can line it up with a hole on that, so that we're not, it ain't going to be the same, is it? Because the PCD is different, Ralphy. So let's have a good think about this. Yeah, I'll mark it out, find the middle, jobs of fish, and then we'll line up one of the holes with the middle and we'll see where they come. Right, you're not going to see this, but I'm right on the edge of 2 holes there, and I'm right in the middle of 1 hole there. I can see that is absolutely bang on where we need to be. So again, the transfer punch, the right one. Tap. 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's those. So we've got our 10 holes all marked out. Just where we need to be. Okay, so here's the setup, look. We're not going to use the vise, it's not going to hold this very well and it could mark it up. So we've set it on some standoffs with the old toe clamps with a little bit of aluminium packer to stop mooring this surface. And we've got the wibbly wobbly on the job, and we can line that up very fucking accurately on that centre mark. We're right in the centre of that centre mark. Yeah, you probably can't see as well as me. Then we can zero out a digital readout, lock everything off, lock all the beds off, and we know we're ready to machine that hole. Right, we're going to concentrate on these outer ones. We're going to have to move this around a few times, and it's not easy to get clearance for the holes. We might get that, we won't get that, we might get that. But we don't want to lose track of the fact that they're different. So the outside ones are the ones that bolt on the wheel, and they take 7/16 UNC cap head. So we need to drill that out. It might be 3/8 actually. Here we go, look, fucking talk. I've set all the tooling out, so we're good. 3/8, so we're going to drill that out 10 mil. We're going to pilot it first with a 6 mil, or thereabouts. So, just need to take my stop down. And hopefully, I've got enough travel. I've not got enough travel. Bear with. Right, we should have enough fucking travel. We got that dual. Everything's locked off, like I say. Let's give it a dab of lube. Dab of the old anchor lube. Huge hits with Americans. And run this through. We could speed it up a bit, but there's no rush. Nice and steady all the way through. Bit more lube. But we could speed it up a fuck of a lot. But I'm not going to, because the speed will do for all of the procedures, and there's a lot of gear changes when you've done 10 holes. I mean, 10 belt changes, and on this model of Bridgefoot, it's a bit of a fanny light, so I'm saying that, I'm going to end up fucking doing that, because this is painstaking and fucking slow. Alright, so we sped that fucker up, and we're going to run it through. What about air lock? There we go, that's that. Very unspectacular that was, wasn't it? And now we can change that out to the 10 mil, which should be fine at that speed too. Freshly ground. So this will give us a clearance for that 3/8 bolt. Again, a bit of looby-doo bit, because the alley can get sticky if it gets too warm. And just run that through. You know what, I reckon I can put it more than that. So there we go. So we're through at that. Happy days. Righto, onto the setup for the counter bore. What we're going to do with this one is we've set the cutter in. We're going to bring the quill down, yeah, till it touches. Just touch on like that. And then we're going to bring the stop up so we can't go any further than that. Right, so bear with me, hold on. Alright, like so it can't go down any further. That's set at that. And now we wind that back up out of the way, and we lift the knee up, we lift the job up, the 10 mil that we want, which is 400 thou. Now each turn of this is 100 thou, so 4 turns of the handle. Look. So we'll go 1, oh sorry, not filming it very well. Sorry for the handle. 2, 3, amount to 4. Come on, baby. Here we go. Hit that 0. Like that. Come on, focus. There we go. A little bit more. And then we lock the knee off in with the footsie lock. And now, when we bring that down, it'll go 10 mil below the surface of that when it is to stop. So that's it. That's that setup. Righto, let's have that out of the way. Full disclosure, I've just changed the cutter because not only was the one in there left hand, but it was dull as fuck. Anyway, that's, you've seen the setup, let's fucking have it. So we'll touch on and then we've got 10 mil on the stop, with a little bit of lube. That's what separates this from the animals, boys. And away she goes, look. We should take it nice and steady. Down to that stop. A bit more lube, please, sir. Get rid of the fluffies if you can. If not, fuck it. Just send it. there we go. So now, if I can blow that out, get out of it. We've got one hole. It'll take one bolt. That's 5 more to go. I can reach these back to, but you're not going to see it where the camera's set up, and you're going to be bored shitless, I think, watching me do that. And then I've got to reposition it to do the remaining 2. I think I'll get you to join me again when we're doing the inside ones that need drilling and tapping. So the moment of truth, having done all 5, is whether it fits, and it fucking does. Yeah, I've got that on, and they're just nipped up. They all go in, it all fits on. Everyone's a fucking winner. I would say these bolts are a tad on the short side, but longer bolts are not a problem. I thought about counterboring a bit deeper to compensate, but that's just fucking daft. I mean, they cleared the surface, which is what we want, and that extra, fucking hell, is that the juggler? That extra bit of meat is not a bad thing, like. So yeah, that is halfway done now. I've checked the editing, and this video is getting long. I'll show you the setup for one of these, like I did for one of these. Very much the same, just a different hole in it. We need to tap that out, 7/16 UNC, if I recall correctly. So I'll get this off, I'll get it back over to the milling machine, get my tooling sorted out, and then you can see me do one of them, and we're about there, aren't we? Right, so we're back on the table. We've got a wibbly wobbly in. Never use your fingers to reset one of these, because if you knock it, it'll do like a fucking whip. We're going to line that up as per with that centre back. This is not quite there. Back a bit. Pull that up a bit. Yeah, I'll set that. Right, have that out. And we're going to go in with a 3/8 bit, which is the tapping bit. The tapping size for 7/16, so I'm not going to bother with a pilot drill on these. I reckon that'll be just peachy. Grab a lube here a bit. Move your hand around. There it is. Come on, bastard. And away she goes, Captain. Nice and steady away. A bit of lube as needed. And soon have that through. I'm not sure where it's going to come in regard to that register that we're machined in the back. I think we might be close to the edge of it, but it don't really matter. In fact, it don't matter at all. Right, with that out, we can now change that out and give this a bit of a lead with this chamfer tool. So quickly. Right, so just a touch. Yeah, a little bit more. Lovely stuff. And then I'm going to swap it out to a tap, but I'm not going to attempt to power tap it. I'm just going to use the fact that we're all set up on the table. It says secretly tightening the table down, which you should have done before, to line this up. So we'll just put it in there, give it a dab of lube, and we'll get it started, and then it will slip in the chuck. And we'll get ready to stop it as soon as it bites, pretty much. There we go. Right, so that'll be straight. And when it will be started, we don't fucking know. But we can now come in with our Pt8 tap wrench. Yeah. Tap that out. We could do with the tap follower. Probably. No, that's good. Look, there she blows, Captain. So I'll work that through best I can. I think I'm going to start hitting me fucking holds, which is no big deal, because once we get this started, we can take it out and do it on the bench or whatever. or in the vice or whatever, it don't really matter. As long as we've got a good lead, which we have, look, then the job will be a good one. There we go, now we're fouling that, so that's as low as we can go really. That's as far in as we can go. I'll just get that out. And finish it off by holding it another way, but we're all located and drilled and started. That's well started. So I can reach 3 hours, maybe 4 hours like this, and then we'll move it again to the last one, but it's nothing to watch like, so we'll just get that tapped through, get these done, and Bob's your answer. And there we fucking have it. So we've got the V-Rod hub with the spacer to take Sportster sprocket to line it up with that offset gear sprocket, gearbox sprocket. Now I did think about, could have shaped these out like I did my disc spacers on my Triumph, but I can't. Look, we got it just don't work out. We can't cut a rib around it either because these are close to the edge. We could pocket some holes in it, but you're never going to see it. What's the fucking point? So hey, happy days. I'm going to call that fucking done. So there you go, we got there in 2 episodes, nothing too fancy, but nice and sleek and doing the job, yeah? It just leaves me as always to say, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, consider giving me a sub, check out all the bump in the description below, and I will catch you on the next one, everyone. Big love, see you soon.